What's up, YouTube? We're back for another week's episode of Three Simple Men Making Their Way Through the Galaxy. I'm Tom. With me is Ryan and Mike. We're still in the Clone Wars. We're going to be in the Clone Wars for a while. I'm just going to throw it out. We're going to be in the Clone Wars for a while. So
Sit
we're
back
in
and enjoy the
season
ride.
two. What's that?
He said, sit back and enjoy the ride. We got a
Pretty
lot.
much. This is where the fun begins. So we're in season 2, episode 18, titled The Zillo Beast. That episode gave me Godzilla vibes. And the way it ended, it reminded
Jurassic Park.
me, what's that?
Jurassic Park.
The Lost World?
Yep. I knew that's
My
what you meant.
man.
Yeah, absolutely. So it starts off with the quote, choose what is right, not what is easy. And yeah, this takes place on the planet of Malistar.
We've heard that planet's name before.
Yep, home with the Dugs and Sebulba's kind from episode 1.
Never saw any pod racing, though.
No,
First time we've seen, I think, Doug's since Sebulba, I believe.
unless they're represented in the Senate, maybe.
You're right. I do think we see them in the Senate at one point too. But yeah, it was interesting to see them again, and we get a little more lore of their planet at least. Um, but yeah, right off the bat, I mean, it starts off with Palpatine okaying the use of a new weapon, an electro proton bomb, which basically an EMP with a little more firepower.
I'm going to say this. The way it started off, I felt like maybe we should pull the clones back because it seemed like it was going to affect everyone on that field.
Yeah,
And
the
so it
initial drop, I mean, it
became
was full on explosion force killing.
almost atomic level.
Yeah.
And we saw the huge EMP electrical ball just come out secondary. So I was like, okay, it is an EMP bomb. It's interesting enough. They're taking a play out of the Separatist playbook because we've talked about it on the episode earlier before where the Separatists were doing uh, a bomb that was pretty much like napalm that was going to affect everything but the droids. So the Republic was pretty much like, okay, bet. We'll throw one back at you that affects just your droids.
Yeah. Interesting
There's
that
pretty
Palpatine
off that.
approved this too.
Oh yeah.
Um, what were you gonna say, Mike?
I was just going to say it was a little bit of a trade-off because, like, this time you see it affecting the Republic with the vehicles and even Anakin's arm after the.
That was a really cool. I really like that they added that uh piece in where the blast kind of ends right on them, and you see, Palpatine go loses connection because he's just a hologram. But then you see Anakin's robotic arm sparking.
Oh yeah.
That was cool. It was a cool thing that they added. I was kind of curious. I guess it didn't affect the lightsabers, which I guess, being powered by the crystal. And it's interesting. I was kind of wondering about that, but
I mean, anything. It's more like I think anything involved with motors or wires and stuff like that. Lightsaber.
maybe lightsabers aren't electric. I don't know.
I mean, it's all. Uh, it's powered by the crystal.
Yeah,
Who knows? Maybe
crystal and maybe the force. I don't know. I mean,
maybe it
maybe.
did get affected, but we never really saw it be affected because the only thing we really saw was Anakin's arm.
Yeah. Did anyone notice the terrifying creatures the Dugs were riding?
I
No.
never got a good glimpse of it.
So I did a little research. So they're called insectomorphs. And if you look up a picture, they're horrific. When I first saw it on the shot of it, it was like after the explosion or like during it. I thought they were on like a creature that had its head cut off.
I'm gonna
And
look
then
at it
I
right
looked
now
it
on my
up and I was
phone.
like, oh, that thing is nightmarish.
I'm just gonna look it up right now.
I
Oh, that's
N S
disgusting.
E
Yeah.
C T O M O R P H S. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that looks disgusting.
What is it called?
An insectomorph.
Mounts for the soldiers. Yeah.
The more of Clone Wars.
Very creepy.
Mm-hmm.
How do you spell it again? I'm bad at
Uh,
spelling, by the way.
It's okay. Insect. So INSECTOMORPHS. Like Animorphs, but
Okay.
insectomorphs.
Hey, what the fuck?
It's like it's really creepy looking. Like, and I
Dude,
mean, I guess it kind of goes like Doug's. You kind of think of it. Doug's are kind of. I'd say they're one of the more unique alien designs we get in earlier Star Wars. Like, I mean, they're kind of creepy looking. They're definitely a weird design, right? They kind of walk on their
Arm.
hind
dude,
on their arms with like, yeah, they're very, very interestingly shaped. I was trying to pay some close attention to see if Anakin exhibited any like inherited racism or anything
Yeah, that's what
against
I
the
was wondering
Dugs.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you figure not that he should be, but like he had his last experience that we know of with a Doug was not a good one. It was with Sebulba, who was a cheater. Um, so I wouldn't be shocked if Anakin,
I would have
wasn't
loved the
a fan
conversation
of them, but
there.
they didn't include any of that.
I would have loved the conversation there with the leader of the Duds. But like, your best pod racer, Sebulba? I smoked his ass, even if he cheated.
Well, I was wondering at one point they're kind of like before the reveal, but so the obviously the explosion goes off, it takes out the droids, and then a giant pit forms, or almost like a landslide or a sinkhole, I guess, opens up. But then at one point the Dugs are talking and they're like, "Oh, we can't sign the treaty yet. We're waiting for a few more members of the council." I was like expecting, and I haven't watched this as many times as you guys, or so I don't have the best recall of the episodes I've seen before. But I was kind of wondering, I was like, oh, is one of the guys that's gonna show up Sebulba? And like, is there gonna be like a weird Anakin Sebulba, like oh, I'm not gonna sign the treaty because
Imagine if this is going to be a what if. What if it was a Bulba? And what if instead of a Zillo beast, they went in a different direction? It's like a rematch of a pod race.
Hmm.
I mean, that would have been a cool scenario, which I think we can all agree would be awesome to rewatch. Like another. Oh, and speaking of rewatching, I don't know if by the time this comes out, but always remember, like May 3rd, Phantom Menace goes back into theaters.
coming out in theaters. Very excited for
25th
that.
So by the
anniversary.
time this
Yeah.
Yeah,
episode airs out,
I think we might have technically. I think this episode's probably going to come out after that. So,
so most likely you probably we're
so
going to be
oh,
like,
I loved it. Loved watching it again. You guys liked watching it again,
dude.
right?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely,
good.
dude.
Yeah.
I saw the popcorn bucket and I saw the mug that the cup
Posters.
goes. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I'm
it
surprised
makes
they
me
went
want
with
to
a
go back to the
Sarlacc pit for
theaters.
the popcorn bucket. I think they just rebranded the Dune ones.
The Deadpool 3 ones. Yeah, that's what they were going for.
No, it's
Those
yeah,
memes,
but
those memes have been killing me lately. It's like someone buys a Dune bucket with butter, just nothing but butter. And it's like, all right, they're gonna see Dune too. They're like, no, they're gonna see Madam Web. It's like, what? What? Wait, Oh man, it is what
definitely
it is.
seeing Phantom again though in theaters is going to be really cool. So I am definitely excited to do that. And again, yeah, this episode probably comes out after that comes out.
But yeah,
Uh,
for that, yep.
but back to your quick what if. I don't know. I don't think it would be a competition. I think Anakin now, as has harnessed the ability of the Force, is more in tune with the Force. I think he would just
Yeah.
slaughter Sebulba now. You
Hmm.
know, he was just a small fry when he beat him the first time. Um, you know,
Is that a
so
reference to Weird Al Yankovic?
maybe it was. I don't know. Good catch,
My,
Mike. It
my,
was.
this here
Weird
Anakin
Anakin
guy
guy.
is just a very big, small
Baby
fry.
beaters.
No, it may be
No,
maybe
he's just a
someday
small
we'll
fry.
learn that
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
just
there we go.
yeah. Um, all right, so we then get the reveal that the Zillo Beast. Oh, we do get. I always like to shout out when we get named clones. Mace Windu goes down to investigate or to rescue the clones that had fallen in the sinkhole, and he goes in with a squad: Trapper, Pons, and Hawkeye.
Wow, the
Yeah, I was thinking
Avengers
about
of
Hawkeye.
Rogue.
I'm like,
Yeah.
missed opportunity for them to be like a sniper.
Yep.
Because since Star Wars is with Disney now,
Oh, that's so yeah, yeah. No, you're
it's
right.
like
Or
he
have
should have been a
everyone like
sniper. It's
hmm
like Hawkeye. I'm like, where's your bow and arrow, man? Where's your bow
it
and
could have
arrow?
been. It could have also been a reference to MASH somehow, right?
Or yeah,
Hawkeye's a
or
hmm
character from that. I don't know about Pons and Trapper. Maybe those are characters in MASH also. I don't know. I know Radio's one,
no,
but
but Hawkeye. I was actually no, I was watching MASH not too long ago. Love MASH. That and Hogan's Heroes. Some old school TV. Those are classics. I know nothing.
um, but so we do very quickly. Well, they're walking around. They're like, "Oh, it's like something's down here. Oh, it's just rock." And like I'm sitting there looking at him like, "You're clearly walking on the back of something right now." And sure enough, we get introduced to the Zillo Beast, which is a pretty cool looking beast that Anakin decides he's gonna fight after it takes out his ship, and we quickly learn that its skin or scales are as strong as
They're impenetrable. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the lightsaber can't beat them. They might as well be Beskar.
Might as
Did you
well.
guys catch that there was a Wilhelm scream down the pit?
Yeah, I did. I heard that Wilhelm scream.
I didn't
Yeah.
catch the Wilhelm screen, but what I did catch, I'm
I
gonna
have a
mark
bad
the
feeling
Wilhelm
about
screen.
this.
I did catch. I have got a bad feeling about this. This is the 11th time it's been said chronologically. This time it was said by Mace Windu. And of note, this is episode 2, or sorry, season 2, episode 18. The last time it was uttered chronologically was season 1, episode 18. So kind of interesting that we're almost a complete, they really took a break in between. Of course, we are jumping around because we are watching chronologically and not in the order they came out. But
Every time I
yeah,
watch Star Wars and I hear that line, like I got a bad feeling about this. Even within the Clone Wars, my mind just goes on to the quote from Tom Hanks from Saving Private Ryan watching Star Wars. It's like, when's the last time you ever had a good feeling about anything?
but nice catch with the Wilhelm. From my notes, that is now our fourth Wilhelm scream chronologically.
Ooh.
So certainly not as much as I got a bad feeling about this, but it's kind of funny because I'd say the Wilhelm scream, though made popular uh in Star Wars, has been used in many other things. Um, but I got a bad feeling about this. I'm sure it's been said before in other things, but I think that it's more of a direct reference, obviously, to itself when they use it, as opposed to a reference to something different. That's all on that. Pretty cool.
If you can hear Cosmo coughing, I mean, I don't know if you guys hear Cosmo. He's getting better. By the way, if anyone's interested, my dog Cosmo, who's appeared a few times, kind of got kennel cough, but he's getting better. It's just the remnants of that cough. It's fading right now. He's just chilling, sitting next to me. So I got to keep an eye on it. So, you
can you
know,
get kennel cough? Is it like mono? If you kiss your dog, are you gonna get it?
let's find out. Come here, big boy.
Um,
No.
but so we get this battle scene, but then we quickly learn that that he can't be beat, and the Dugs have like a personal historical vendetta against these beasts, and have like a prophecy or something that says one would return. They've basically exterminated this beast to the brink of extinction. They thought it was extinct, and they say they're not signing any treaty until they get the body of this thing. So Anakin and Mace Windu, being the true Jedi, uh, doesn't agree with killing a innocent creature, especially the last of its kind. And after a little debate and discussion with Anakin and Palpatine, they decide to, you know, hatch a plan to basically knock out the beast and take it off world. Palpatine signs on when he realizes how strong the armor or the scales are and how that could benefit, him. For him, it's, hey, something that lightsabers can't damage. It's a great great weapon to use against, the Jedi.
Mhm.
So it's a little red flag there. Um,
That's funny that you mentioned that because now I haven't done it in a while. A nice little hot take.
Go ahead.
What if this is like the first true encounter of Mace's distrust of Anakin being so close to Palpatine, or pretty much it's more of like we know where it's gonna go in episode 3, but is this like the first occurrence where it's like Mace never really trusted Anakin when he was a young boy. He was too old, he can't train, but he accepted the fact that he's going to be trained by Obi-Wan, so he just made peace with it. What if this is the first time which Anakin says, like, well, the Chancellor says this, and now Mace maybe thinking just like, are you a Jedi or do you just work for the Chancellor? So
I
which one is it?
Yeah, they certainly don't make it clear, but I wouldn't, and I definitely think it's something that he's at least
It
being
may happen
aware
more
of,
often.
because he's arguing against him. Um,
Yeah, I
so
feel like it's pretty early in the war where we really don't see that distrust at first. But yeah, this is
Never,
probably
I'm
one.
sure he's filing it away. I
Yeah,
certainly don't think he's not trusting Anakin yet, but
but
I wouldn't be surprised if he's taking
it could be a
note.
stepping stone towards,
So during the conversations between them, I think this might have actually been after. I don't know if it might have been after maybe after that discussion or after they catch the beast and Palpatine says, instead of sending it to a planet to live peacefully and be studied in the wild, let's bring it back to Coruscant. I noticed that Palpatine referred to our two Jedi. He calls Windu Master Windu and General Skywalker.
hmm
So I thought it was interesting that he makes that distinction. I mean, we know Anakin's not a master, but he doesn't refer to him as a Jedi. He refers to him as a general. So it's kind of interesting that like Palpatine even kind of notices, like, well, Master Windu, he's a Jedi, and we know in Palpatine's head that's the enemy. But General Skywalker,
yeah.
that's a general in Palpatine's army. That's a good soldier. So it was kind of an interesting choice of words on how he refers to them.
Anakin doesn't have MasterCard, he just has Visa. Put up.
I don't know if like if Yoda or Windu at any point get referred to as generals during this war. I feel
Um,
like Yoda does in Clone Wars. Don't they call him General?
no,
No,
I mean,
I think
like
it's
General Wind.
Master Yoda is just Master Yoda.
Yeah,
Windu's
and I
just
think
Master
Master
Windu.
Windu is Master Windu. It's General Skywalker.
I was reference to General, maybe just like
And maybe
not
General
during that
Kenobi is the only exception.
during the Ryloth. I mean, it could be wrong, but someone could fact check us on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting though. So, I don't know if maybe that was just the way it was. The day masters stayed masters. They're not, generals or admirals or whatever. Um, it was interesting. Um, but yeah, and then we get into the part that I mean, absolutely very reminiscent of the T-Rex getting
Yeah.
air airlifted off the aisle to the boat. Except in this case it was a planet. They had the multiple multiple
And
ships
if
with
you
the
have
units.
seen The Lost World Jurassic Park, we won't talk about the next episode right now, but if you've seen that movie, you have a strong feeling of what's about to go down.
And so does Mace. He even says, I'm not worried about the beast, I'm worried about Coruscant, right? Something along those lines.
San
Yeah.
Diego.
Yeah.
I felt
Yeah.
bad for the dog.
An interesting choice to bring this creature to a busy, crowded city.
hmm You have to study him in a controlled environment.
Mm, that's the
But
worst that can
yeah,
happen.
controlled. Okay. Bet. Bet.
All right. Anything else, fellas?
I
No, I mean, early on in the battle, we saw the ARC 170 starfighters for the first time. Those like X-wing starfighters for the Republic.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good eye, Mike.
hmm Yeah, so we see them escorting the Y-wings as they're ready
Also,
to drop the bomb.
actually, now that you mention it, of the Y wings, the one that carried the bomb had a distinct color towards it.
Red leader, yeah.
A leader.
And a really cool clone with a lizard helmet.
Yeah, he dropped it. Yep.
That
Hey,
was a
that's like
cool. That was
homage
cool. He
to
had like a lizard
Godzilla.
painted on his helmet or a lizard
Yeah.
face. It was pretty
That
cool.
whole scene kind of gave me Enola Gay vibes.
Hmm.
And then one of my
Anyone doesn't know what that reference is?
The ship that.
yep,
Yeah.
World
Are
War
you
II.
asking
Read
her?
a
Oh, I'm
history
sorry. You
book.
go ahead and
Please.
tell.
Read a history book.
I
America.
like I liked after they succeeded, is like Anakin's like, hey, it worked. Is like, are you sure? Yeah. Then he's like, yep, you go first, Mace.
Yeah, that was good. Fun little banter. And interesting, right? No Ahsoka, no Obi-Wan.
Nope.
It's Mace and Anakin, which I
We
don't
don't
know if
see
we've
often.
actually seen them teamed up before,
Nope.
at least without one of the others. All right. Well, take it away, Mike.
All right, it's a wrap. Thank you everyone for joining Three Simple Men making their way through the galaxy. Hit that like, comment, and subscribe, and come back next week for some more Clone Wars content. May the Force be with you always.